Hey, what's up folks, how's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most compact 4K PC setups on the planet, courtesy of GMK. We have their brand new X-Panel 14-inch Ultra HD display, as well as their NUC box, which is quite possibly the most powerful palm-size mini 4K PC that you can find as well. Now, first let's start with the X-Panel. What makes it really remarkable is that it's only 5mm in terms of thickness, making it one of the most compact and thinnest displays in the 4K resolution at around 14 inches in terms of diagonal size. On top of that, unlike many other portable monitors, you also have 10-point capacitive touchscreen capability, so you can potentially pair this with a device that allows for two-way communication via USB-C. Now, in terms of ports and connectivity options, you have plenty of those, including on one side you have a mini HDMI connection that can support 4K resolutions at 60 Hz, as well as two USB Type-C connections that have multiple levels of functionality, including powering the monitor, carrying a video signal, or transferring data back and forth. On the other side, you have a power return button, a micro USB connection, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. In addition to that, the whole design of this monitor is very similar to what you find with the Surface tablet, so you have a built-in kickstand where all these ports actually live, and the display itself is on a thinner profile that's separate to this kickstand. The other cool thing is you have built-in stereo speakers, which don't sound that great but are functional from a utilitarian standpoint. Now, this is a fairly versatile display in terms of what you could do with it from a functional standpoint. It's just basically a 4K monitor or TV. You can certainly hook it up to the next generation 4K console, PS5, Xbox Series X, and have a pretty cool portable gaming experience. You can certainly use it as a secondary monitor for your existing laptop or smartphone, tablet, anything you have. It's a great companion for the Samsung DeX interface that's available in many of the Samsung smartphones. Furthermore, the color rendition and overall accuracy is fairly decent. It can reproduce 100% of the sRGB color spectrum, so you can actually use it as a secondary monitor attachment for your 4K camera if you're going to do any videography work with the display, and it really works great in that fashion. Now, just some of the technical parameters, I'll throw up the spec sheet right on screen. So in terms of native resolution, you have the standard 3840 by 2160. It can refresh up to 60 Hz. You have an IPS-based display, so the view angles are very good. You also have a support for HDR, a 5-millisecond response time, as well as AMD FreeSync technology built in, which will reduce the effects of vertical tearing if you're going to be doing any kind of gaming with this display. Now, beyond that, I've also been testing the GMK NUC box, which is currently being funded through an Indiegogo campaign. Now, this thing is crazy small. It only measures around 2.4 by 2.4 by 1.6 inches, only weighs about a quarter of a pound, and it's pretty much something that you can definitely fit in your pocket. But it has an Intel Celeron J4 125 quad-core CPU that can turbo up to 2.7 gigahertz with Intel UHD 600 series graphics, and from a wireless perspective, you have AC Wi-Fi 2x2 adapter as well as Bluetooth connectivity. The ports on this thing are also fairly well laid out. You have two USB-A connections, a USB-C connections, full-size HDMI, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. All in all, this tiny little machine has the capability of driving a 4K external monitor without any major hiccups. Excellent if you want a portable solution with the GMK X-Panel. With this thing, you'll have probably the most compact 4K PC out there, and the performance internally is perfectly fine for streaming and watching any kind of 4K content, general productivity work, as well as every day-to-day stuff that you're going to do on the web. Now, in terms of the actual performance results of this Celeron CPU, I did go through a couple of different benchmarks. On Geekbench 5, the single core performance is around 400 points, 1500 points on the multi-core performance, and on Cinebench R20 we got 565 points, which is okay. Again, fairly standard for a low-end CPU like this, given the size and form factor of this PC. And curiously enough, if you want to do any kind of low-resolution 720p 1080p gaming at lower details. On Heaven, we actually got an average frame rate of about 24.1 frames per second at 720p with low details. Now, of course, the performance of the Knockbox isn't going to rival high-performance gaming PC. Is certainly not designed to do so, but as a platform for streaming 4K content and just a general PC, it's quite an excellent little compact solution. It should retail for around the $200 mark. There's some special deals going on the Indiegogo campaign. For more details, definitely check out that page. But you can certainly use this as a living room PC for streaming content or browsing the web, or you can use it as a little 4K companion PC for the X panel. Now, the X panel itself is going to retail for around $350, which is certainly at the upper end of the spectrum as far as most portable monitors go for, but you have to keep in mind that this is a native 4K IPS panel, 14 inches in terms of diagonal size, ultra compact. The build quality is exceptional, and you also have the touchscreen capabilities, which most monitors in this category don't, never mind the resolution and everything like that. If you have any specific questions, definitely let me know. Check out the description for more details about everything we talked about. Big thanks to GMK for sending us these products to test out, and a big thank to you guys for continuing to support the channel. Make sure you've subscribed and give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.